Hello, my dear friends. Today I want to discuss about introduction of metal forming process. What is that actually? There are four basic production process for producing desired shape of a product. These are casting, machining, joining, and deformation process. Today's topic is actually deformation process. Casting process exploit the fluidity of a metal in liquid state as it takes shape and solidify in a mold. Machining process provide desired shape with good accuracy and precision but tend to waste material in the generation of removed portion. That's mean uh, with the help of removal process the desired shape will come. In joining process permit complex shape to be constructed for simpler component and have a wide domain of application. This is all about casting, machining and joining process. But what is deformation process? Deformation process exploit a remarkable property of metal which is their ability to flow plastically in the solid state without deterioration of their properties. Very important thing, and keep in your mind, my dear friends, without deterioration of their mechanical properties and thermal and all the properties. With the application of suitable pressure, the material is moved to obtain the desired shape with almost no wastage. In casting, in machining process, so many wastage is there. Machining process, maximum wastage is there. But in deformation or forming process, they have no wastage of material. The required pressure are generally high and the tool and equipment needed are quite expensive. This is the drawback of forming process. Large production quantity are often necessary to justify process or economical point of view. So many stress or force applied when deformation process actually take place. So what is that actually? Simple uniaxial tensile force. I think all of you know what is the basic difference between tensile force and compressive force, shear force, each and everything. I do not discuss here. One is simple axial tension, uniaxial tension, biaxial tension, triaxial tension, biaxial tension and compression, biaxial tension and compression, uniaxial compression, biaxial compression, biaxial compression and tension, triaxial compression, pure shear and simple shear with triaxial compression. As a metal is deformed, that's formed into useful shape, it experiences stresses such as tension, compression, shear. Various combination of their figure 1 actually illustrate the state of stresses. But now some common metal forming process are schematically given with the help of some picture along with state of stresses experienced by the metal during this process. In rolling process, biaxial compression force is required. In forging, triaxial compression is required. In extrusion process, triaxial compression is required. In swaging, biaxial compression is required. In deep drawing process, in flange of blank, biaxial tension and compression. In wall of cup, single uniaxial tension. Wire or tube drawing, biaxial compression and tension. Straight bending, at bend, biaxial compression and biaxial tension also. This is the common metal forming process. State of stresses experienced by metal is also given by this picture. To understand the forming of metal, it is important to know the structure of metal. Metal are crystalline in nature, all of you know that. Consist of irregularly shaped grain of various sizes. Each grain is made up of atom in an orderly arrangement and known as lattice. The orientation of the atom in a grain is uniform but differ in adjacent grain. When a force is applied to deform it or change its shape, what happens? A lot of changes occur in the grain structure. These include grain fragmentation, movement of atom and lattice distortion. Slip plane develop through the lattice structure at point where the atom bonds of attraction are the weakest and whole blocks of atom are displaced. The orientation of atom, however, does not change when the slip occurs. To deform the metal permanently, the stress must exceed the elastic limit. Keep in your mind, my dear friend. To deform the metal permanently, the stress must exceed the elastic limit. At the room temperature, the metal is in more rigid state when at higher temperature. Thus, to deform the metal, great pressure are required when it is in cold state than hot state. When metal is formed in cold state, there is no recrystallization of grain, and thus recovery of grain deterioration and fragmentation does not take place. As grain deformation proceeds, greater resistance to the action result in increased hardness and strength. The metal is said to be strain hardened. These are several theories to explain this occurrence. In general, these refer to resistance build up in the grain by atomic dislocation, fragmentation, or lattice distortion, or combination of these three phenomena. The amount of deformation that a metal can undergo at room temperature depends on its ductility. The higher the ductility of metal, the more the deformation it can undergo. Pure metal can withstand greater amount of deformation than metal having alloying element. Since alloying increase the tendency and rapidly of strain hardening, metal have large grain are more ductile than those having smaller grain. When metal is deformed actually in cold state, severe stress known as residual stress are set up in the material. Very important term, residual stress. These stresses are often undesirable, and to remove them, the metal is heated to some temperature below the recrystallization range temperature. In this temperature range, stresses are rendered ineffective without applicable changes in physical property or grain structure. Now I discuss cold and hot working of metal. Cold working. What is that actually? Plastic deformation of metal below the recrystallization temperature is known as cold working. It is generally performed at room temperature. In some cases, slightly elevated temperature may use to provide increase the ductility and reduce the strength. That means some time heat is required for removing the reducing the strength and increase the ductility. Cold working offer a number of distinct advantages, and for this reason various cold working processes have become extremely important. Significant advance in recent years have extended the use of cold forming, and that trend appear likely to continue. What is the advantage of cold working comparison the hot working? Low heat is required, better surface finish, better dimensional control, product process, better reproducibility and interchangeability, better strength, directional property can be imparted, contamination problem are almost negligible. What some disadvantage also there? Higher force are required, heavier and more powerful equipment is required, less ductility is available, metal surface must be clean and scale free, strain hardening occur, undesirable residual stress may be occur. Cold forming process in general are better suited to large scale production of parts because of the cost of the required equipment and tooling also. Warm working. That's when this is the process in between cold working and hot working. Metal deformation carried out at temperature intermediate, hot and cold forming is called warm forming. What is that actually? What is the advantage of that? Lesser load of tooling on tooling, greater metal ductility, fewer number of annealing operation, lesser amount of heat energy requirement, better precision, lesser scaling, lesser decarburation, better dimensional control, better surface finish, lesser thermal shocks, lesser thermal fatigue to tooling, so greater life of tooling also, etc. Now I discuss hot working. Plastic deformation of a metal carried out at room temperature above the recrystallization temperature is called hot working. Under the action of heat and force, when the atom of metal reach a certain higher energy level, the new crystal start form. This is called recrystallization. When this happen, the old grain structure deformed by previously carried out mechanical working no longer exist. Instead, new crystal which are strain free are formed. In hot working, the temperature at which the working is completed is critical, since any extra heat left in the material after working will promote grain growth, leading to poor mechanical properties of the metal. What is the advantage? Comparison the cold working, no strain hardening, lesser force are required, greater ductility of material is available, favorable grain size is obtained, leading to better mechanical properties of the material, equipment of lesser power is required, no residual stress generated in the material. Some disadvantage associated in the hot working also. What is that actually? Heat energy. That's when extra heat energy is required. So some cost will be incorporated about that. Poor surface finish of metal due to scaling, poor accuracy and dimension control, poor reproducibility and interchangeability of parts. Handling and maintaining of hot metal is difficult and troublesome also. Lower life of tooling and equipment. This is all about the introduction of metal forming process. If you have any queries and any doubt, feel free call me and email me. This is my email ID. Okay, thank you.